Hey guys, Keith Engel here for TGI Sports Talk with my weekly vlog. And again, I'll promise not to take up too much of your time. I want to talk about a couple things. A couple things are revolving around one thing. Major League Baseball's competition committee today is going to vote and most likely approve several changes going into next season in the realm of Major League Baseball. Several things that are just, in my mind, absolutely ridiculous and unneeded for several reasons. And I'll get into them as we go through this. Now, remember, these changes are basically with a goal in mind of increasing action on the field, quickening the pace of play, and reduce the amount of time it takes to play a Major League Baseball game. And in one of the regards, they're also talking about injuries being lessened, which I don't really understand. But let's go through a couple of these things individually. A 15-second pitch clock with bases empty and a 20-second pitch clock when there's men on base. You don't need this. If you just enforce the rules that are in the rule book already, that the pitcher already has time. Why do we need a clock for when the umpire's standing right there? Enforce the rules. If he doesn't get on a mound and throw the ball, call it a ball. And I don't know what the actually, let me scroll down here. Maybe I can tell you. That will be called a ball, I believe, if it'll be a ball will be called if the pitch clock expires. First of all, that's not going to shorten the length of the game, I don't think. Now you just had one more pitch added to the count. and there's already rules in play to force pitchers to pitch within a certain period of time. You're supposed to stay on the mound, and when you get the ball, you got X amount of time already. Enforce it. Let the umpires enforce the rules that are there. Okay? Now, tied to this, there's a rule where the batter would be required to be in the batter's box and alert with 8 seconds left to go on the clock. And hitters are allowed one timeout. Well, how does adding a timeout per bat shorten the game? Not necessary. Again, there's already a rule in the rule book that says the batter should not be leaving the batter's box for any reason. Enforce the rule. If he doesn't get in the batter's box, tell the pitcher to throw a pitch or call a strike. I don't care if you want to do that. Start enforcing the rules you already have without adding new ones. Why? Absolutely ridiculous. Guys want to be a human rain delay like, Mike Hargrove back in the day and Nomar Garcia-Parra and some other guys with all the blah, 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 blah. Tell the pitcher to throw a pitch. That'll stop. Again, we create more rules without needing it. Rob Manfred's brilliant this way. 2 disengagements with the rubber, including pickoff attempts per plate appearance, which means if I step off the rubber and don't throw to first base, that's 1. If I throw over to first base, that's 2. Or if I throw to first base twice, that's 2. Or if I step off twice, that's 2. And I'm done. I can't throw over again. Oh, the base runner's basically got a green light to run. So another rule that is, I'm trying to remember how they phrased this. How are they designed? Increase the action on the field. Again, another rule designed to help the offense, not the defense, not the pitchers. How many times have I said during these vlogs that every rule since 1968 that's been changed in Major League Baseball has been designed to help offense, starting with the lowering of the mound. The strike zone's gotten smaller. Ballparks have gotten smaller. Not a rule, but ballparks have gotten smaller. Baseballs have gotten harder. Bats have gotten harder. Anyway, another unnecessary rule that doesn't need to be in there. Because you're changing the whole dynamic of the game. The really cool thing about baseball is it's not played with a clock, by the way. There is no clock in baseball. There are rules to enforce pace of play. So games don't take 4 hours and they are unwatchable. I do not disagree with that. But there are already rules in place to ensure we don't get those types of things. Baseball has let it go. Umpires have let it go. Give your umpires some teeth and we can enforce the rules that are already there. So that's 2.5, whatever, that affect the pitching and the batter during any given pitch, or whether it's with or without a base runner. The next one I love. Only 2 infielders will be allowed on each side of second base, with all 4 required to be on the dirt or inner grass. Tied to this, infielders cannot position themselves on the outfield grass before the pitch is thrown. I can't tell you what. I mean, the basic premise of this rule is unnecessary. You do not need this. All you do is need to teach. I've had this conversation how many times on my shows and in these vlogs. I'm so tired of having this conversation. I'm so tired of rules being put in to change the game, where all you need to do is teach the game to be played the right way. If you put 9 guys on the right side of the infield or field that hit the ball to the left side, it's not that hard. It's the way the game's been played forever. And don't tell me the shift has changed the game. The shift just came in recently, and it's changed the game because guys won't adjust. They want to hit to it, through it, or over it. That's why you got guys hitting 190 and 200 and acceptable. So they hit 190 with 30 home runs or 25 home runs because they keep hitting into the shift. How about teaching them to hit the other way? Ted Williams, they shifted against Ted Williams. This isn't a new phenomenon. You think Tony Gwynn would ever get shifted on? No, because he would just pepper the ball to left field. He'd hit 600. But let's not do that. Let's not teach kids or even Major League Baseball players to hit the ball the other way. If we had a Billy Martin type manager, Billy had his flaws, don't get me wrong. But if we had a Billy Martin type manager playing the game, teaching his team to play the game, managing games the way that he managed them, we wouldn't have to put rules in to eliminate the shift. Stupidest rule in the history of baseball. Guys can't learn to play the game correctly, so we'll change the rules of the game to remedy that. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Jesus, good grief. If your kid couldn't read, would you just, give them books with 3 letters in it? Or would you teach them how to read? Oh, God. And infielders on the grass. So what are you telling me? That we're playing too deep? You're playing too deep and guys are be able to beat out too many infield hits? Nonsense. Guys wouldn't be able to play that deep if you'd run to first base, which you need no talent really to do except a little bit of coordination. Run hard out of the batter's box to first base. Takes no talent at all. Just some coordination. I don't understand. I just don't understand where baseball thinks they're going. Why we have to put in rules to legislate, lack of hustle, lack of wanting to hone your skills to be able to defeat the shift the way it should be defeated by hitting the ball where people aren't. The last one is the bases will be increased in size from 15 to 18 inches squared. Why? Again, promoting offensive play, more stolen bases, a larger target for the runners to hit and not be tagged out, basically. And I know they said to prevent injury. I read at one time, this article isn't talking about it, but How is that going to prevent injuries? And again, why do we need to promote more offense? Why don't we make players better offensively? Why don't we teach them better stolen base techniques? Why do we have to put rules in where you're going to give them a head start because the pitcher already threw over twice? Or we're going to give them a bigger bag to target on their slide? Why don't we teach them to play the game that's already been played and been a lot of fun for 150 years, 40 years? I don't math. Why don't we do that? No, we can change. We can put rules in so they don't have to make themselves better. We don't have to, get pitchers to pitch better. We should put more rules in to help. I'm sorry, we don't have to make hitters better or base runners more efficient. We can just put rules in that help them and hurt pitchers at the same time, right and left. Not only have we hurt pitchers by making them babies because they're looking to come out of the dugout after the first time they're in trouble after throwing 70 pitches. Now we continue to hurt them with ridiculous rules that are put in to help the offense. Eliminating the shift. Just don't hit it where they are. Guys, I'm mortified what's happening to my game. Mortified. Rob Manfred, will we survive you? Can we have a recall vote now? Can I get the owners together? Can I send them all a StreamYard and we have a quick meeting and say Rob Manfred needs to go? Why don't fans like me have a say? Fans like you have a say. Maybe you think I'm crazy. I don't know. If you do, I don't know what to tell you. You didn't grow up watching the game that I grew up watching. If you like the product that's on this field today, for the most part, it's not even baseball, and we want to make more rules to make it less like baseball. Tell me I'm wrong. Keith Engel for TGI Sports Talk. Have a great day.